Thanks for stopping on in for today's NBA Pick a Video Play for October 18th, 2018. And this one talking about this matchup in the Western Conference between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Portland Trail Blazers. Going to give our lean on where we see the better value on the over-under. That total number here, relatively high at about 222 points. Actually, the public has been fairly split on it at this point, and it's just going to be interesting to see what kind of pace we get from these two squads out of the gate. So you had the Los Angeles Lakers last year, a very offensive-oriented group, and there's going to be a big transition for this team coming in to this year, given the fact that they bring in LeBron James. A number of other veterans are going to try to mesh that with this young core that the Lakers have been able to build up in recent years. Given all the struggles that LA has had, they've been able to pick themselves up a number of lottery draft picks. So they have some intriguing young players, and then you bring in LeBron James, arguably the best player still in the NBA at this point in his career, and then some other veterans to go around him. It's just going to be fascinating to see how this dynamic works for the Lakers. If we look back what they did during the preseason, not necessarily the greatest indicator of success or struggles that a team is likely to have, but in general, we saw a lot of higher scoring game from the Lakers. Some of their more recent contests, 119, 123 points, respectively, in their victories over the Golden State Warriors to close out the preseason action. So they're going on the road here. Not the easiest road atmosphere to play in Portland. And the Trailblazers, they were a team that a lot of people were having increased hype around last year, especially down the stretch run. The second half of the regular season, Portland really came on as a strong team out in the Western Conference, but they completely fell flat within the playoffs. And this is a Portland team where they've kind of been building themselves up around a pretty decent core of players, guys like Damian Lillard, McCollum, for instance. And those are guys that are kind of getting into the prime of their NBA careers. And Portland, just within the Western Conference, it's so tough. In terms of the hierarchy, you'd probably put the Portland Trailblazers at one tier below that upper echelon, which has teams like Golden State and Houston, for instance. And with a guy like LeBron James coming over and just the Western Conference as a whole being so competitive, there's just so many great teams that some are going to be left out. Portland, just to keep a spot in the postseason this year, is a step that they have to take if they're ever going to try to make that next step in going forward in advancing in the postseason. So we'll see how that plays out for Portland this campaign. Really looking forward to seeing how this one plays out. Portland, they're a team that actually last year, they had some pretty decent defensive numbers overall, but also a team that has shown that they can run and score a lot of points. We also saw that from Portland during the preseason in some of their recent results, putting up 118, 116, 112, 115 points respectively in their last four outings of the preseason. So certainly a squad that has shown that they can put a lot of points on the board. So basically, if we look at the preseason results of these teams, you would expect a higher scoring game. And again, the preseason isn't necessarily a great indicator of what teams are going to be like come the regular campaign. But the Lakers, LeBron James, he's a guy that he's not only extremely efficient with his offensive numbers, but he's also going to get his teammates a lot of open shots. And the question for this Lakers team is, do they have the kind of guys that can knock down those shots? But if we look at Cleveland with LeBron last year, a very high-scoring team that struggled certainly at times on the defensive side of the ball. We'll see if that also transitions for LeBron coming here over to LA. Can't wait to see how this one plays out. I see this as potentially being a higher scoring game out west. And with that being the case, we have a slight lean here on the over 222 points. If you agree, give the video a thumbs up. Disagree, give it a thumbs down. You can check out all of our NBA picks over at stumpthespread.com. Linked down in the video description. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we hope to see you guys back here for tomorrow's video.